Aurora and Arthur Petrova, Christmas Eve in Great Baddow. At 18 Harroway, while the winter winds blow, stay Aurora and Arthur, their spirits quite low. In Great Baddow they dwell, since the month of September, a move from East London they'll always remember. The transition brings on a change in their state, leaving Romford behind to surrender to fate. They trade a small garden for space and for air, but Aurora still feels an abysmal despair. She misses her school, Harrow Lodge, and the halls, and the way Mr. Norman gives life to the walls. Flat 74, Charrington Court is their home no more, where the cacophony echoes from ceiling to floor. The sirens of Romford, the screech of the bus, create a constant and clamorous fuss. But Harlow the Dalmatian, with spots like a map, prefers the new garden for a long afternoon nap. Kiev the ginger tabby, 10 years in his prime, agrees that the silence is truly sublime. They speak proper English, loquacious and clear. The diversity there is a joy to be near, Harlow remarks with a tilt of her head. Aurora is crestfallen, missing the street where the 174 and the 499 meet. The diversity of Havering, vibrant and grand, feels miles away from this new piece of land. The housing is pricey, the flats are too small, Maria explains, standing tall in the hall. Her orange glasses shimmer, her sleeves are pulled low, to hide scars from a scalding from long years ago. We need a sanctuary, a place we can grow, away from the darkness that we used to know. But Aurora feels alienated, lonely and cold, in a story she feels is too quickly being told. The morning of Christmas Eve starts with a spice, a culinary blend that is more than just nice. Naan bread and chicken curry, an omelette beside, a breakfast that fills them with familial pride. Petar wears his blue glasses, his short hair is neat, as he sits at the table for a savory treat. Chestit Rojdin den, Chestit Rojdin den, Arthur does say, for Petar's big birthday is only a day away. He is 46 now, a milestone of age, a brand new beginning, a turn of the page. Arthur sips hot chocolate, sweet and quite warm, a shield for his soul from the midwinter storm. A knock at the door brings a package so small. The Cedarmont sing-along arrives in the hall. Arthur is elate, his green glasses aglow, as he holds the CD he has wanted to know. Harlow trots over, her tail wagging fast. A musical treasure arrives here at last. She barks with a rhythm, a dog with a song, while Arthur suggests they all sing along. The melodies fill up the house with a cheer, banishing thoughts of the tuition he'd fear. The rhythm is vibrant, the lyrics are sweet, making the joy in the house feel complete. Kiev sits on the sofa, a ginger-furred king, watching the joy that a simple song can bring. Aurora, he purrs, his voice smooth and deep. Your memories of London are treasures to keep. But do not let nostalgia mar what is here. The peril of sadness is always too near. He winks at the girl with the twin-plaited hair, attempting to lift her from depths of despair. Change is an omen, sometimes it is good, even if it's not initially understood. Aurora sighs softly and strokes his soft head. I suppose that is true, is all that she said. They turn on the TiVo, a magical sight. CBeebies the Nutcracker fills them with light. The dancers are graceful, the music is grand, a journey through many a wintry land. It is like a metaphor, Arthur tells the girl, as the Sugar Plum Fairy begins her big twirl. For the courage we need, Arthur says with a grin, watching the battle, the Nutcracker will win. Aurora is vocal, she cheers for the toys. Lost in the magic, away from the noise, the monotony fades as the story proceeds, fulfilling their youthful and imaginative needs. Petar dons his thick coat, blue glasses in place, with a look of determination upon his kind face. I must go to the shops, he informs his dear wife, to gather the things for this time of my life. White chocolate and sponges, the Milky Bar kind, the finest ingredients that I can find. Maria nods slowly. Don't linger too long, lest the weather turns sour and the timing goes wrong. The clouds are persistent, the sky is a slate, we cannot have dinner that's horrendously late. She adjusts her long sleeves, maintaining her grace, as a smile of encouragement lights up her face. For lunch, steaming ramen is served in a bowl. The Japanese noodles are good for the soul. Maria works hard in the kitchen so neat to provide them a lunch that is truly a treat. Dobro utro was hours ago. She teases as the broth starts gently to flow. Arthur slurps noodles with vigor and zest, proclaiming this meal is the absolute best. It is better than school meals, he says with a wink. Much better than anything else, I would think. Maria smiles warmly, her orange glasses bright, in the soft, filtered glow of the afternoon light. The afternoon lingers, a tedious crawl, as the shadows of winter stretch out in the hall. Aurora feels restless, the silence is severe. She longs for the friends that she once held so dear. Kiev approaches. Do not be so reticent, child, though the weather outside is particularly wild. To shun your new life is a mistake you will find. Try to leave all those juvenile sorrows behind. Aurora looks out at the garden so wide, where the skeletons of summer trees quietly hide. I feel like a fish out of water, she sighs, with a look of deep longing in her pink-framed eyes. The sun is descending, Maria soon says. We must go to the city despite the gray haze. A drive into Chelmsford, the high street to see. A Christmas Eve journey for you and for me. Aurora runs fast to her wardrobe upstairs, selecting the finest of all of her wares. She pulls on a jacket of silver and shine. This leather, she whispers, is truly divine. You cannot wear that, Maria does cry, as a cloud of frustration passes over her eye. It is winter, Aurora. It's freezing and chill. That jacket will lead to a cough or an ill. The jacket is flimsy, it's inadequate, dear. Maria's voice is quite sharp and is perfectly clear. Under no circumstances will you step out the door in a garment that leaves you so cold to the core. Aurora protests. It's my favorite one. Without it, my evening will surely be done. Petar enters the room. His expression is irate. We must go right now. We are already late. Do not bicker and squabble. Do not escalate, or we'll forfeit the trip to the city of late. Aurora is fuming, her face turning red, as she thinks of the silver coat lying on bed. Don a thick coat, or you're barred from the car, Petar warns as he points to the hallway afar. We're on the brink of a fight, let us cease and desist, or the lights of the high street will surely be missed. Arthur is waiting, his coat buttoned tight, green glasses reflecting the hallway's soft light. Come on now, Aurora, don't be so resistant. The need for a warm coat is very persistent. Petar grabs the car keys, he's ready to go, to face the cold winds and the threat of the snow. The atmosphere's tense, a bit like a storm, as they prepare for the cold, but must keep themselves warm. They pile in the car, Petar behind the wheel. The silence inside is as heavy as steel. Outside, the weather is gloomy and gray, a pathetic fallacy for the end of the day. The rain starts falling, a sibilant sound, as they drive through the streets of their newfound ground. Harlow is nestled in the boot at the back. Her tail gives the carpet a rhythmic thwack. The weather is erratic. Petar does sigh, looking up at the clouds in the darkening sky. Aurora sits brooding, her silver coat tucked away, resenting the rules at the end of the day. They arrive in the center, the city of light, where the Chelmsford High Street is glowing and bright. The shoppers are frantic, a Christmas Eve rush, in the cold evening air and the gathering slush. Arthur is exhilarated. Look at the trees! They're shimmering bright in the cold winter breeze. Maria holds his hand, keeping him near, as the carols of Christmas are all they can hear. It is better than Romford, she whispers with pride, with the spacious new streets and the world open wide. Arthur agrees with a vocal delight as they walk through the magic of Christmas Eve night. We need the white chocolate, Petar declares, as into the supermarket aisles they all flare. For the Milky Bar cake that we promised to make, a sugary treasure for my birthday's sake. Arthur finds the bars on a shelf near the end. Here it is! Here is the prize, my dear father and friend. They gather the cream and the sponges so sweet to make the tomorrow a birthday complete. Don't overlook the sprinkles, Arthur does shout, as he tosses a tub of the glitter about. Petar just laughs, his good mood restored, glad that his family is finally on board. Back in the kitchen, the mixing begins. As the whisk in the bowl rapidly spins, Maria works quickly, her movements are sure, to ensure that the birthday cake standard is pure. Aurora helps stir with a rhythmic beat, turning the batter to something quite sweet. The scent of the chocolate is truly divine. This cake, says Aurora, will be simply fine. Though she was reluctant and sullen before, the joy of the baking has opened a door. I'm sorry for shouting, she says with a blush, in the warmth of the kitchen, away from the rush. Petar sits back with Kiev on his knee. This is the life that I wanted to see. A home that is quiet, a home that is bright. On the eve of my birthday, this Christmas Eve night, Kiev purrs loudly. You've done very well to leave that old flat where the sirens would swell. The move was a challenge, a struggle, a test. But I think we can say that this place is the best. Petar adjusts his blue glasses and sighs, with a look of contentment in his tired eyes. 46 years, he says with a smile, and I haven't felt this much peace for a while. Maria sits down on the edge of the bed. Goldilocks and the Three Bears must be read. Isaiah 9, verse 6, she then quotes with a glow. For to us a child is born, she says soft and slow. Slava na Boga, they pray, closing the door on this Christmas Eve day. Arthur is listening, his eyes wide and bright, finding comfort and hope in the word and the light. It's the thought that counts, he says with a yawn, looking forward to gifts in the light of the dawn. Maria kisses his forehead so kind, leaving the worries of Romford behind. I want a baby Annabelle, Aurora confesses, the 2016 model. She pleads and she stresses. It is the ultimate gift, the one that I need. I promise to be very helpful indeed. Maria sighs softly and shakes her dark head as she sits on the side of Aurora's small bed. You are 10 years of age. You are growing so fast. Perhaps the time for such dollies has passed. It seems quite infantile, she says with a frown, which makes Aurora's bright spirits fall down. But I love her, she cries with a vocal appeal, expressing the depth of the passion she feels. Petar walks in. His expression is stern. There are many more lessons that you have to learn. To ask for a doll when you're nearly a teen is the most juvenile thing that I've ever seen. The request is rejected. The answer is no. Now turn out the light, and to sleep you must go. Aurora is livid. Her fury is great. She resents the decision and curses her fate. It's not fair, she shouts as she starts to shed tears. The first sign of anger she's shown here for years. Petar just sighs, and he turns out the light, leaving her there in the gloom of the night. Down in the kitchen, the pets have a chat, the Dalmatian dog and the ginger-furred cat. The girl is heartbroken, Harlow does say. On the very last brink of this Christmas Eve day, the doll is her wish, her heart's deep desire. To deny it has set her young spirit on fire. Kiev nods slowly. The parents are wise, but sometimes they overlook things with their eyes. It's not just a toy, but a comfort, a friend, in a world where the changes just don't seem to end. They sit in the silence of Harroway's night, while the stars in the heavens are shimmering bright. On the 28th day, the rain is a pall, as a reckless decision begins its dark fall. Aurora is angry, she's feeling ignored. With the life in Baddow, she's utterly bored. She throws a toy pony right out of the pane, into the wind and the cold winter rain. A red vase is shattered, a terrible waste, as she moves through the room in a petulant haste. You are acting substandard, Petard does shout, as the shards of the ceramic are scattered about. To vandalize things is a dreadful mistake. Think of the trouble and mess that you make. But parents have hearts that are prone to forgive, in a world where it's better for kindness to live. Maria comes in with a box in her hand, the greatest surprise in the whole of the land. We reconsidered, she says with a smile, after thinking it over for quite a long while. The age doesn't matter if joy is the goal, and this little doll brings some peace to your soul. It is the baby Annabelle. Aurora is ecstatic, her joy is immense, and her love is emphatic. The light at the end of the tunnel is clear, ending the year with a heart full of cheer.